Instructions to become richer on the lowest pay permitted by law. Fortunately, it is a lot of conceivable to become rich on the lowest pay permitted by law. There's a typical misinterpretation that I might want to expose. Furthermore, it's that creating financial stability is just conceivable with a major league salary. The facts really confirm that having a major league salary makes things more straightforward, however it possibly helps assuming the cash is utilized optimally. On the off chance that you watch the news, you presumably know a couple of rich people who looked into going Chapter 11 on account of unfortunate ways of managing money. Creating financial stability advances has a ton to do with the amount you can save and contribute. Furthermore, that is the reason on the present useful insight video, I'll discuss a couple of ways on how you can create financial stability while acquiring the lowest pay permitted by law. Above all else, creating financial momentum is tied in with making more than you consume and saving the distinction. What's more, despite the fact that collecting abundance on a low pay is very troublesome, it very well may be finished with a couple of changes. The first being contribute, regardless of how little. Contributing isn't as simple, particularly on a lowest pay permitted by law. Even before you begin pondering contributing, there are such countless costs like utilities, food, lodging, transport, and well-being that you really want to contemplate first. Furthermore, these costs will generally take a seriously gigantic piece from your profit with a low compensation. Furthermore, a great deal of it being taken up by essential requirements, not much is left over for contributing, yet even a tad makes a difference. When you put a specific measure of money, notwithstanding little throughout a significant stretch of time, it can ultimately develop into a significant sum. Putting works out so well in abundance creation since it depends on build interest. This is the point at which your premium is bringing in revenue, expanding how much cash you have in your record many years. What's more, to put away your cash, you want to begin putting some to the side explicitly for it. The sum you put something aside for contributing is altogether dependent upon you, yet by and large the more the better. This anyway doesn't imply that you can't do likewise on a low pay. Prior to putting cash in only any speculation, do a few examination and figure out where you might want to contribute. Whenever you've decided, it's generally savvy to follow your ventures since you could have to change what you've been putting resources into, or put more cash into it. Now that you know the significance of contributing, we should discuss why you ought to begin early. The sooner you begin giving your cash something to do, the less you'll need to save every month to arrive at your objectives. A typical attribute among individuals is that we like to linger. We continually put things off like securing our fantasy position, putting something aside for retirement and certain way of life changes since we think we have no worries. However, for a low-pay worker, one of the most impressive resources for growing a strong financial foundation is time. What's more, you should make the most out of the time you have. Don't defer things or spend erratically in light of the fact that you think you have months or years in front of you to create financial stability. What's more, don't tragically feel that you don't bring in sufficient cash to save, or that retirement is excessively far away. Indeed, even the little you save accumulates over the long haul. So paying little mind to progress in years or the amount you procure this present time is the opportunity to begin saving. Standing by even a couple of months implies a postponement or fundamentally less cash that goes into your monetary objectives. You may not bring in a great deal of cash as you start your profession, yet that was one thing that you have for your potential benefit. Furthermore, that is time. With time on your side, saving turns into a more wonderful and invigorating possibility. Number 3, embrace moderation. Individuals will generally misjudge what moderation is, yet all it implies is being purposeful with your spending and how you deal with your cash. One of the principal motivations behind why many individuals aren't rich isn't on the grounds that they aren't making enough, but since they don't have any idea how to keep it. Thriftiness assists you with separating what your necessities are from your needs are, so you can try not to spend on superfluous things. Beside that, thriftiness is accepted to be probably the quickest method for accomplishing monetary autonomy and in any event, permitting one to early resign. When on a low pay, you must be persevering in the manner in which you set aside cash to develop your abundance, yet being parsimonious doesn't mean your life must drag. Unfortunately, this is the number of individuals view it to be. You see adjusting carrying on with a decent life and setting aside cash is conceivable. And keeping in mind that acquiring a low pay, your way to wealth, might expect you to be monetarily dependable. However, you can in any case have a good time and appreciate life. Number 4, cutting costs. Sorting out some way to cut spending isn't quite so natural as it sounds, as you may not understand where you're overspending, and bringing an end to this drawn-out propensities may not be simple. Nonetheless, there are ways of decreasing your outpouring so you can give more cash to your objectives and less to buys that don't work on your life or long-haul monetary circumstance by lessening your surge and guiding more cash to monetary objectives. You'll find success in putting something aside for large things, so you can become your total assets and create genuinely financial well-being after some time. In the event that your costs are high to the point that you can't save however much you'd like, it very well may be an ideal opportunity to scale back, recognize superfluous items that you can save on, for example, eating out and amusement. You can likewise track down ways of saving money on your decent month-to-month expenses like link and your telephone use. You can save more by dropping memberships. You never again use eat out less regularly and give yourself an elegance period when you need to purchase something, rather than buying it right away. Number 5, get savvy objectives. Objectives are valuable for various reasons. Like they set out a point-by-point way to your prosperity and diminish any time squandered attempting to accomplish your monetary objectives. Furthermore, something else is they act as inspiration. One approach to expanding your possibilities accomplishing your objectives is utilizing the savvy objective structure. This expects you to be explicit, quantifiable, reachable, reasonable, and convenient. At the point when you have an objective that fulfills these 5 components, you're bound to arrive at these objectives. The possibility of monetary objective setting is to choose exactly what you need. Objectives ought to be set and checked or followed intently on the grounds that things would be able and do change. They can be long-haul or present moment. Setting present moment and long-haul monetary objectives is a significant stage towards turning out to be monetarily secure. In the event that you're not running after anything explicit, you're probably going to spend more than you ought to. You'll then, at that point, come up short when you really want cash for surprising bills. Also, when you need to resign, thinking ahead allows you an opportunity to deal with things that could occur and give your all to plan for them. This ought to be a continuous interaction, so you can impact your life and objectives to fit the progressions that will unavoidably come. Yearly monetary arranging permits you to officially audit your objectives, update them, and survey your advancement since the earlier year, assuming you've never defined objectives before makes a move to figure out them, so you can remain on firm monetary balance. Number 6, make and adhere to a spending plan. Everybody needs a financial plan, whether you're procuring millions or acquiring a moderate compensation. As somebody dealing with the lowest pay permitted by law, you should be significantly more determined in your planning. Since you have less pay and can't stand to squander, any financial plans are advantageous in light of the fact that they permit you to keep tabs on your development towards the objectives you've made. What's more, beside that, having a spending plan provides you with a feeling of monetary control, which lessens the pressure one could have while attempting to deal with your cash. Furthermore, finally, putting your pay and costs into your spending plan gives you no decision, yet to stay aware of your monetary circumstance, which will lead you to settle on more monetarily sound choices. Planning could seem as though more difficulty than it's worth, yet it truly assists you with saving more. Having a financial plan is significant in light of the fact that it opens your psyche and you get to see precisely where your cash is going. It turns out to be truly simple to spend cash. Except if you have an arrangement for your cash. You could in fact remember your reserve fund's objectives for your spending plan and meet them, rather than randomly saving what's left over every month. Number 7, kill exorbitant interest obligation. Number 8, supplement your compensation. Whether you need to put something aside for retirement, take care of obligation, or have additional spending, cash supplemental pay can assist you with accomplishing your monetary objective faster. Supplemental pay alludes to cash that is procured notwithstanding your ordinary pay. As referenced previously, it's feasible to become rich on a lowest pay permitted by law, yet it will take a seriously huge measure of time. Fortunately for the people who aren't so tolerant, there are ways of accelerating the interaction. One of them being, having beyond what one stream of pay, extra pay can be procured from your boss through rewards, additional time, back pay, and commission. Albeit supplemental pay typically comes from tracking down simple methods for making additional money outside your standard work. This could take any structure, for example, accomplishing independent work, finding a part-time line of work, or going into business. Assets from these floods of pay can assist you with taking care of your obligations and costs. At last, expanding your pay and shortening the time it will take for you to arrive at your monetary objectives. There are a lot of ways of bringing in money as an afterthought, regardless of your abilities, all no matter what the course you pick. You can give you your spending plan, a solid support, and work on your monetary standing a lot quicker. That is all there is to it for now. Furthermore, I trust these tips help you out. Many thanks for watching. Have an extraordinary day and see you in the following one. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumb up and share with your friend. Thank you for watching.